won't lie, I felt a bit disappointed. I'm like, God, but I prayed. I've seen people who have prayed to you and they've received answers immediately. But I'm like, hi everybody, I usually don't do this. But since it was something I prayed for, and I'm like, God, if you do this for me, I'm gonna testify. So I spent about 6 days, almost a week. I was so sick. So obviously, like the first 2 days, I was like, okay, I'll probably be better, right? Since my cousin's a doctor. So I just explained. My mom phoned her and she explained to her my symptoms and how I was feeling. And since my cousin's a doctor, we always have antibiotics at home. Like when she comes over, she's gonna bring us a ton of meds. So she was like, okay, she should drink this, she should drink that. So I was like, cool, no problem. And then obviously the third day, there was still no difference, right? I still felt so sick because it reached a point where I could not get out of bed. I honestly could not get out of bed. I could not walk. So the fourth day, I still no difference. Still no difference. I didn't take it upon me to be like, okay, let me pray, because I thought, okay, you're just feeling a bit weird. You're gonna be okay after drinking these antibiotics. And the pain was so unbearable, and for some odd reason, during the day it wouldn't be as bad. But as soon as it hit midnight, I would not sleep. I would just be awake, crying. Like, I feel like my entire life, I've never cried that much. Like, I've never cried that much. Like, every day I was just crying. I was just like, what is going on with me? Like, why do I feel this way? Day 5, day 6, things got worse. Every night I would cry and cry and cry. There was no difference. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. They would literally bring me food every day. And I'd literally eat in my bed because I could not walk. I did not even have the strength to walk. If I tried standing, I would just be in so much pain and I would sit. 6th day, I was like, okay, God, when I wake up, because I actually couldn't sleep, I'm like, please give me the strength to firstly be able to sleep. And when I wake up, please can you make me feel better, because I'm tired of feeling like this. It felt like it was in my body. It felt like I was in somebody else's body. I was like, God, please, can you heal me? And since I love music so much, I first started off by just listening to music and I'm worshiping God. And I'm like, okay, God, please, can you heal me? And the moment when I was worshiping, that's when I actually didn't feel any pain. I was like, okay, God is probably healing me right now because I'm not feeling any pain. And then I finished praying. Before I finished, I felt like I needed to write it down. I'm like, I went to my notes and I wrote, God, if you heal me, when I wake up and I feel better, I'm going to testify. I'm going to testify, because I really needed to feel so good, because I wasn't going to school, I wasn't doing anything, I was just in bed, and it was literally one of the worst experiences of my life. And then I remember I finished praying, I'm like, in Jesus' name, amen. And I was still in pain. I was like, you know what, I'm going to fight this. Then I started crying again. There was still nothing. I'm like, you know what, I'm going with faith. You know what, God will heal me. I am already healed, right? And then I slept. And then when I woke up, I was still in pain. I was like, God, what do you want me to do now? I prayed. I put my faith in you. And I felt so bad because everybody around me, they were doing things for me. I couldn't do anything for myself anymore. Like, I couldn't do anything. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm falling behind with schoolwork. There's just things that were piling up. And I'm just like, oh God, what is going on? What do you want? I'm like, God, if you healed me, I will testify. I will let everybody know that, you know what, you're a God who's a healer and stuff. Oh no, I felt a bit disappointed. I'm like, God, but I prayed. I've seen people who have prayed to you and they've received answers immediately. But I'm like, you know what? We serve a God who works in his timing, and he knows when he's going to heal me, and his timing, I'm just going to trust his timing. But I told myself, I know that I am already healed. But then, guys, can you imagine what happened? Can you imagine what happened? Later on that day, how all of a sudden I feel so fine. I'm like, what? Tell me you're joking. I could walk. I'm like, I was so happy. And my sister usually says I'm the loudest person in this house, and was I not laughing, speaking, making noise? I was just like, yo, I was so happy. I'm like, obviously it didn't work when I wanted it. I was like, okay, God, when I wake up, I want to be fine. I woke up and I was still not healed, but I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna give up. I believe I'm healed. Just that same day, later on in the afternoon, all of a sudden I felt completely fine, and I was just like, oh my God. And so I'm just here to testify, because I promised God that, you know what, once he healed me, guys, I honestly suffered, and it was bad. It was so bad. And I'm just like, God, I'm really going to testify of your goodness. I'm going to testify of how you healed me. Just here to encourage you, wherever you are. Maybe that situation that you may be facing seems like it's impossible. Maybe you may be sick with a disease that seems incurable. I'm here to introduce you to my Jesus, because my Jesus never fails. I spent 5 days. I knew I wasn't okay, but I never bothered to pray. I don't know why. I never bothered to pray. I'm like, I'll be okay. I never bothered to pray. And then it just hit me. It's like, I know a great physician. I know a healer. Why didn't I turn to him in the first place? Because the very next day after I prayed to him, that's when I got better. And I'm like, God was just telling me, showing me how I need to be dependent on him and how I need to be able to trust him in every aspect of my life. And he was just opening my eyes to so many things. And I just realized how we take this breath of life and being able to move, to walk, we take it for granted. It's the most underrated blessing is having the breath of life and being healthy. That's when I realized, no. I need to be grateful. The fact that when I wake up every day, I can open my eyes, I can walk. Let us be grateful to God, even in the little things. We thank God it wasn't something that was like, extreme to the point I had to be hospitalized. But for me personally, it was bad. It was something I'd never experienced. And in that midst, God just said, you know what? You need to learn to depend on me. Don't think, because I'm just here to spread the gospel and just help whoever may be probably going through a tough or similar situation, just to encourage you to hold on, tighten your seatbelt, and just let God lead your life. Let God have. I know this is not making sense. There's a lot of things I want to say, but God, I just want to testify. And I'm extremely, extremely, extremely grateful to God. And yeah, I'm overwhelmed because I don't know where to start. It's amazing what God can do. It's really amazing what God can do.